want me to wear this? Hello from quarantine here in New York City. I wanted to pop on here and share a quick tutorial with you guys if you're interested for how to make your own face masks. The hashtag masks for all has been trending because some experts think it's a good idea to wear a mask no matter who you are or where you're going. I know there are 1,000 different opinions about what's the right thing to do, but since I feel like the really high-grade professional masks should be saved for our healthcare professionals, I have the materials to make these here. So I wanted to do a couple for myself, my family, the essential workers that I come in contact with every day, like the people who work in our building, the people who work at the grocery store, and if there are any health professionals watching this who could use these, they're better than nothing. So send me a DM, leave a comment, and I'll figure out a way to make these and get them to you. I'm going to show you how to make these out of scraps that you probably already have around your house, and we're going to make them with ties versus the elastic that goes around your ears. That way, if you're making them for other people, it's a little bit easier to customize and make sure you get a good fit. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is make these ties. This is a really easy trick. Just find an old pair of leggings. I have these old bike shorts that don't fit Charlotte anymore, and cut them into 1-inch strips. This sort of stretchy jersey fabric will roll if you pull on it, so just give each one a really good tug and watch it just completely coil into like the perfect stretchy soft elastic cord. Next, you can pick the material that you're going to make your mask out of. If you're a crafter like me, you probably have lots of different scraps of fabric. I've also made masks using upcycled clothing. I made a mask using this flannel from my husband, and it's really soft and actually pretty cute. Once you decide what you're going to use, cut out 2 6-inch by 9-inch rectangles and set aside 4 of those ties that you made. Put one of the rectangles right side up on a flat surface and put one of those ties in each of the corners. You want the ties in towards the middle instead of being out, because we're going to sew around this and turn it inside out, and that's how it's going to work. I like to make sure they're all bunched in the middle. That way I know that the perimeter of the rectangle is clear, and then I'm not going to sew over any of those ties. Put your second piece of fabric right side down on top of that. I like to clip the sides first to make sure everything's in place, and then go ahead and reclip the corners to make sure that all 3 of those layers are in place. I also like to mark a little bit of a gap so I know exactly where I need to not sew so that I can turn this inside out. And then I'm going to start right there at the bottom of the gap and sew around this completely. I'm doing this on my sewing machine. I guess you could do this by hand, it would just take you a little bit longer. Sew around the entire thing, leaving that gap. Backstitch at the front and back so everything is really secure. And then take that off and turn it right side out. I'm going to put this on my little ironing board to make sure it's smooth. Once you've turned everything right side out, find the hole and just iron in those edges so that you know that you can sew over them later. And then you're just going to fold 2 pleats, which basically just means folding up the bottom and clipping it and folding it up one more time to make 3 little rows. That's going to let the mask sort of expand over your nose and your chin without just being a flat piece of fabric. So fold those up. It might take you a couple tries to get them even, but that's okay, just reclip them if you need. I'm going to bring this back to the sewing machine and just sew around the entire rectangle again, and then we're done. Here is our finished product. It expands like this to cover your nose and your chin. I like these because they're machine washable. Whenever I get home, I just throw them right into the wash so that I know that they're clean. We go outside about once a week for groceries and just 15 minutes to stretch our legs in the park, as long as no one is around and we don't touch anything. So here we can get some fresh air without a mask and without the cover on the stroller. And I guess this is our 4th week quarantine, so this is our 4th outing. Sometimes you forget it's spring. This is right down the street from us. This is one of the trailers that are carrying the victims, and it is heartbreaking. It's frustrating when you read some things on the internet from people who don't live here, saying that it's not as bad as it is. It's bad. It's really grim. And every little thing you could do to protect yourself and other people is worth it, in my opinion. So I feel a little bit more protected, which is saying a lot considering the circumstances. So I'm very pleased with how this turned out. I hope you are all staying happy and healthy and as safe as you possibly can. I'm thinking about you, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye.